Hey, what's up, parents, teachers, therapists, anybody who's interested in helping kids with executive function challenges? My name's Seth Perler, and today I'm going to talk about what stresses your kid out during the holidays. So I did a survey recently, and I'll pull that up here. On this survey, I asked, what stresses your ADHD ASD kid out during the holidays? And here's the results here. Disruption of routines was number one. Then we have getting caught up in schoolwork, family relationships and drama, overscheduling, social expectations. Some of these people added in sensory overload, boredom. So, but I'm going to talk about the first one, the disruption of routines. So if you watched my vlog about a week ago, I was talking specifically about that. This is before I even did the poll. And I was talking about the routines over the holidays and over the holiday break. And if you're watching this during summer or spring break, I'm making this at winter break, but it doesn't really matter. If you're watching this at any of these times, this still is relevant. So again, what I'm going to talk about here is how do you support your child if what stresses them out is disruption of routines? How do you help them if disruption of routines stresses them out? So what happens is that we go on a break, and again, whether it's winter break, spring break, summer break, and the routine is completely changed. So they're on this routine with school. Even if you homeschool or have some sort of different type of schooling, there's still a routine that they're used to. Okay, so that routine, I talk about these two concepts, and when I talk about stress. Here's how I describe it: we have abstract and we have concrete. Abstraction is stressful. And the more abstract, the more stressful it is. Concrete, while somebody may not like it, it's not as stressful. At least they know what's coming. So we want to make things, and I talk about this in all sorts of domains when we're talking about supporting children, that we want to make things concrete. When we are abstract about things, or teachers or schools or things are abstract for kids, it makes it very difficult for them to feel safe unless these kids really deal with this type of abstraction well. Okay, so, but when it comes to routines, a routine being abstract can be very stressful for kids. Why? Why does this happen? Because the nervous system is looking out for what is safe and what's unsafe. And when the routine gets changed, it can feel unsafe, it can feel unstable, it can feel ungrounding, it can feel too open ended, it can feel like, imagine bumper cars without the bumpers on them. It can feel dangerous. It can feel threatening. So the nervous system can start to say, hey, I'm not safe. What the heck's going on? What are we doing today? Is my parent going to come up to me in a few minutes and tell me we're going somewhere? How do I prep for different things? If we're going to go on a trip, like, what do I do to prep for that? I don't feel like doing that. I'm not motivated to do that. I want to do what I want to do. I need some downtime. I'm on a break, and now I have no routine, and you're giving me a different routine. So these things can be very stressful. If it's abstract, it can be stressful. So what can you do about it? If you look at my video from a week or so ago about this, I go into depth about some of these things. But the number one most important thing that I think in this video that I can tell you to do about this so that you have a better break, your child has a better break, they're less stressed out, is to sit down with them and look. So with executive function, the prefrontal cortex, the front third of the brain, how the brain helps us to execute tasks. Your child's brain is still developing and learning these skills. So with executive function, what you want to do is to sit down with your child with no distractions, preferably, no cell phone on, no alerts, no nothing, and sit down with the calendar and schedule out what's coming up in the coming weeks and get as much input, do less of the talking and less of the advice giving and more of the listening and asking them what they think. What do you think we should do? How long do you think we need to plan for this? When do you think you'll pack for this? If it's the holiday as it is now and you're going to get gifts for people, when will we be able to go purchase some gifts or go to the store, get wrapping paper, or these sorts of things? To really look, and in this case on the winter break, at the next 2 weeks or so, and look at each day and help your kid plan it out. Now, if your kid has makeup work to do, so for some kids, the semester is not over at winter break, and for most kids it is, but for some it isn't. Well, if they have work to do, I do not want them doing a little bit every day. That is not a winning strategy with these kids, just saying. So what should you do? You can in that schedule, block out 2 or 3 days when your kid can really focus on getting the bulk of that work done. The point is to sit down with your child, give them buy-in and ownership, make them a part of the process, give them choices when you can, and help them to learn to plan and envision what's coming up in the next couple weeks and write it down on the calendar so that they can see it, so that they're not blindsided, so that it is one thing. Do you remember I was talking about two things earlier in the conversation, that and one of them causes stress and one of them is way less stressful? Do you remember what those were? The one thing that this is going to help do is it's going to help make it concrete. When this is concrete, your child's nervous system can be more regulated, not perfect, but it can be more regulated. So they are less stressed. Not only that, but they also got to practice pretty detailed planning skills. Not only that, but they got to build relationship with you. You got to sit down in a time when you're giving them buy-in and ownership and choice when possible, obviously, but you're asking them what they think, what they want, how they think the family should plan. Okay, you're getting their input and you're building, and you're doing this in a way where you're regulated and you're building relationship with them. And hopefully, as a bonus, you are also, with this connection that you're having with them, having some levity, some fun, some playfulness. You're making this something that's not daunting, but you're making it fun. So that connection and relationship building also is involving fun connection with your kiddo. Why the heck not? So anyhow, my name's Seth Perler at sethperler.com. If you like what I'm doing, give it a thumbs up, like it, give it a comment below. If your kid is stressed out during the holidays, what's one thing that you can do or that you do that you can help us to implement? And if you like my work, please share it with some other people today. And I also have executivefunctionsummit.com. My summit, I'll be doing an event in January and then in summer, but check that out, executivefunctionsummit.com. I want to wish you peace of mind. I want to wish you joy. And most of all, I want to wish you connection with the people you care about, especially the kids in your life. Take care. Have a fantastic day. Thanks.